Hey everyone, this is Anthony with Compass Camper again. Just wanted to make a little instructional video on how to install these campers into your car and some other little tips and tricks on how to use it, how to operate it, how to operate the drawer slides, and other common questions I get. So stay tuned. If you haven't seen my other video on just the general walkthrough of this camper, go check it out. I just explain what these are, the use for them. But basically, this one currently is for a Subaru Outback 2020, which is the same generation as the 2020 through 2024. So this one just has the standard plywood drawer faces, a slide-out table on this drawer, which I'll show you, and the split bed extensions. So first we'll go over the installation part. So you want to make sure your trunk is clear. You can leave this cargo liner in here. And you can actually pull down both of your back seats to kind of give you space to attach the camper. The camper attaches to your car on these 4 anchor points right here. There's 2 on the wheel wells and there's 2 on the tailgate side. So how the camper attaches is with these turnbuckles. There's 2 larger ones, 2 smaller ones included with the camper. And it will use these D-rings that are mounted on the side of the camper on both sides. Right there. I figured out the exact placement for these based on your different model and trim level vehicle. They are movable. You could just loosen this bolt with a 5/32 Allen key and slide it around if you ever want to, but pretty sure I got it dead on. So like I said, this one's for the newer Outback. It's one of the longest ones I make, which means it's one of the heaviest ones. So this trunk frame alone that houses the drawers is about 85 pounds in total. That's not including the bed extension pieces. So it's a bit heavy for one person to lift. I can barely do it, but I suggest that you get a helping hand to help you lift this into your car. All right, so now that you've placed the trunk frame in your trunk, you want to make sure that the placement is correct. So for example, your tailgate closes right here at the edge of this plastic. So we want to make sure these blue knobs are about 1/4 inch behind that, behind this plastic part, to give a little room for the tailgate to close. And we also want to make sure there's equal distance on both sides of the camper. So you want to shift it around, play with it, might scoot it over here a little bit. All right. And so again, we got the 2 larger turnbuckles for the tailgate area and the 2 smaller ones for the rear. So the idea is we want to hook these on the camper's D-ring and this anchor point. We're just gonna get them all 4 of them hooked on but loose. Because then once we get the placement exactly dialed, we'll tighten them all at the same time. We'll tighten a little bit over here, and then come over here, tighten a little bit more, and then there, so that if we tighten one the whole way, it's just gonna drag the camper over. So we wanna be careful of that. And so we'll hook it around the camper like that, and then hook it around the car's anchor point, just like that. It's easiest to access this one by just simply opening the drawer a little bit so that we can now get our hand in here. So again, I'll pop this one out, hook it around the camper, and then hook it around the car, just like that, so it's ready to tighten. And so remember, you'll want to extend these so they reach. So I'll need to actually twist this a little bit to make it reach to the car's anchor point. Just a little more. And now I should be able to hook it on. So after placing all 4 of your turnbuckles on loose, we'll just double check a couple more things. I put one of the bed extension pieces on that we have the placement exactly right to where we can raise the back seat and it locks. One note with the Subaru Outback, this lever right here allows you to adjust the seat back forward or backwards for comfort for the backseat passenger. This will need to be all the way front. It won't be able to lean back. It'll go a little bit, but it won't go all the way back. So I like to have it all the way forward. All right, I've checked that my back seat can raise and click. Now I'll just double check that my trunk closes all the way. Looks good. Now I'll just go around and tighten all of these one by one. I'll lower that so I can access that one. Open the drawers a little bit so I can get my hand back there. And I'll give this a few turns. And I'll go over here, I'll give this one a few turns. Not too many. I'll give these ones a few turns. Get them very mildly tight, making sure it doesn't shift the trunk frame in any direction. All right, I went around and gave all of them a good few turns. And what I could also do with both of my hands is turn these two at the same time to keep the camper centered. And then turn those two a few more times, come back over here. And how tight do you want this? Not crazy tight, but not super loose either. So, you know, I'll tighten this one pretty hand tight. You can feel there's getting to be a lot of resistance over here. And since these turnbuckles are actually pulling against each other slightly, they shouldn't loosen or anything. So once you get this all tightened together, you'll be able to move this around and it'll actually shake your car and the camper will not be able to move. So it kind of feels like it's part of your car. All right, I've checked that my back seat can raise and click. Now I'll just double check that my trunk closes all the way. Looks good. All right, I got them all secured. I got the split bed extensions in place. This one is a split bed extension, so it's split down right here. So you can have one side's bed extended while the other seat up, which I will show you. Say I wanna have a passenger in this seat, click that one up, and then I pull this one out. And so the way this bed extension actually attaches to the trunk frame is, I will show you right here. This is a Velcro strip that's adhesed onto this aluminum bar. These zip ties are just kind of a second line of defense, because why not? And the carpeting under this edge of the bed extension just sticks on. So pretty easy to just stick it on and pull it off. The Velcro can be pretty strong. It's not the easiest to get off. So the easiest way to get it off is to pry it up kind of in that angle. I wouldn't recommend pulling the bed extension in this angle, just for longevity's sake. I think this is the healthiest way to pull it off. So I'm just gonna stick my arm into here, pry it up just like that. And this is what it looks like with both bed extension pieces extended. So now I'll show you how to set up the headrest. As you can see, the length of the headrest is too long to fold out flat with the seats in driving mode. So to create space and to create the longest bed, we'll lean the front seats all the way forward and we'll slide them all the way forward also to create that space. Flattened. So now we'll just take these paracord and carabiner attachments and I'll actually just sling it around the front seat's headrest, just like this. And I'll clip it back on. And this is the support for the headrest. So depending on where you like to keep your front seat or your model vehicle, you might need to adjust where these knots are to make it nice and taut. I like to have it just slightly inclined, as you can see, like that, because when you weight it, the upholstery kind of compresses, and that kind of evens out the weight over the whole camper. All right, I got both of them clipped on. And now when I want to pack up my bed and start driving away, I'll just unclip these just like this. And actually I like to just leave it hanging right there, fold this, and you're good to go. So one benefit to having the split bed extension is you can have your front seat in driving mode all the time and this bed extension in bed mode all the time without having to mess with where your driver's seat is. So it's great for solo travelers who don't want to always do this every night and they just want their bed out all the time. Yeah, it works out great for them. All right, now I'm going to talk about the drawer slides and how to operate them. So as you can see, there's 2 locking knobs per drawer. To open the drawer, I'll push down on both locking knobs at the same time. I'll pull out a little bit and then I want to let go. Now it's unlocked, I can open it freely. And to get it to lock in the out position, I just want to give it an extra little tug. Make sure to give it that extra tug at the end so that it locks. And now I can't push it back in. So now the drawer is locked. These drawer slides have a rating of about 250 or 300 pounds fully extended. Not sure what those are rated for on the car because that's what's really taking the weight. But you could totally put a stove on here and whatever else. And then when you want to close the drawer, same thing. I'll push down on both of them. I'll push in a little bit just to get unlocked. And now I can slam it closed. They kind of like to be slam closed. Pretty heavy duty drawer slide, so don't be afraid. This drawer has a slide out table, so I'll tell you how to open that. So same thing, I'll push down on both blue locking knobs, pull out the drawer a little bit, and then I'll let go. And I like to just pull out on the blue knobs to get it fully extended. Now the drawer is locked out. It's best to operate the table with the drawer locked in the out position. Kind of makes it the most stable. So this is a slide out table. To open it, you can see there's a little tension ball latch that just keeps it closed. To open the slide out table, we'll just pull in the drawer slide either here or both. But I'll just pull it forward. There we go. And then to close it, just push it like this. And again, that's why it's easy to operate it when the whole drawer is locked out. So when you go and close the slide out table, the whole drawer doesn't close. One little thing about these drawer slides, if you open them, pull it out past these 2 clicks right there, and then try and close it, you'll hit a hard spot. That's okay, that's normal. You just want to unlock it. And that only happens when you open the drawer without fully locking it in the out position and then trying to close it. So I'll show you again. I'll open the drawer, I'll pull it out. It's not locked in the out position. Then when I close it, it'll stop. So I'll just want to unlock it and then push it all the way back in. Something else I want to emphasize is when you open the drawer, you push down both blue knobs, pull it out a little bit, and then you definitely want to let go of these blue knobs, because if you keep them held down as you pull out, the whole drawer is going to come flying out. So you just want to push it down just to unlock the drawer out of the trunk frame, and then we'll let go. You can pull on the drawer knobs, just don't push down on them once it's out of the camper. And so I don't always recommend removing the drawers completely, just because they could be pretty tricky to get back in correctly. But if you do want to know how to and need to take your drawers completely out, the way you do it is you push down both of these blue locking knobs at the same time and hold them down the whole time. So as I open it, I'm holding the blue knobs down the whole time. So as you can see, the drawer is a little out past where it would lock. This is actually the locking mechanism. So it's past where it would lock right there. So the drawer is actually free to just pull out. A little bit about the drawer slides. To reinstall them, I'll want to pull them, give them that little extra yank so they lock in the out position. This is actually how they lock, with this little toggling lever right here. This goes up and down. When it gets past this little point, it'll fall down, so it won't be able to get pushed back. If you do want to take your drawers out and push these back in, I'll just push this to the middle and then I'm able to slide it back. Just like that. But in any case, how to replace the drawers, I'll pull both of them to the out position. I want to make sure these ball bearing slides are pushed all the way forward, like that. They can run freely, just so it's easiest to line up the inner drawer slides with the outer ball bearing slides. All right, so to replace the drawer, this is the trickiest part, to get the inner slide lined up right in the middle of those ball bearing slides. You just want to go slow. If you feel like you're hitting a hard spot or it's not lining up correctly, just take out the drawer and reassess. So once you get it lined up correctly, you'll want to hear 2 clicks like that, and now it's back in. All right, once you got it locked in correctly, you'll push down on both blue locking knobs. And when you reinstall the drawer the first time, it's gonna be stiff that first time reinstalling it, but now it's in, so now it will open normally. Just like this. People always ask me how they access their spare tire if they ever need to. The easiest way that I recommend is simply unhooking all 4 turnbuckles and then just sliding this trunk frame over your back seats, and that exposes this spare tire area. So also, just to clarify on the options, if you get the standard model, you'll get plywood drawer faces just like this, and both of your drawers will have 2 false tops just like this, no table. And this bed extension will be 1 bed extension, so it won't have this split. Also, another option, it looks really good with a black interior, is black aluminum framing. So it's kind of like black on black kind of accents. Looks really cool. You could see examples of that on my Instagram at Compass Camper or on my website, compasscamper.com. Another couple options are upgrading your drawer faces. So I have a basic mosaic drawer face that is seen all over my Instagram and my website, or I actually have an example of the star mosaics. Cool looking drawer faces. I use redwood and finish it with tung oil, and this is maple plywood. So if you can imagine that right here. Looks pretty cool when you open the trunk and you see these wooden mosaic drawer faces popping right out. And then also the other product I offer is just the bed platform. So if you're a super minimalist and you don't even want drawers, you just want the bed platform with storage underneath, I have that on my website. It's just called aluminum bed platform. Super lightweight. I think that whole bed platform is only like 60 pounds, maybe less, for this model. If you have a Forester, it's going to be much less because the Forester's trunk frame is only 28 inches, so you can kind of scale that to your model. Great, thanks for watching my video. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below this video, and I'll answer them. And yeah, happy travels.